Hey, digital designers. Today we're going to learn how to make cloth in Blender. Here I'm starting with the basic cube, but to make cloth, we actually need to add a plane. So I'm going to go Shift A, Mesh, add a plane. Now, a plane is just a basic rectangle or square that has no thickness right now. It's just like a flat piece of paper. And if we're going to turn this into cloth, like a blanket, we're going to scale it up a lot bigger than it is. And right now it only has one face. Cloth needs to bend and wrinkle and fold. So that means we're going to need a lot more faces for it to bend around. So let's tab into edit mode, right click, and subdivide it. And you can see that's going to split it into 4 equal pieces, but we're going to need way more than that. So down here in the bottom left corner where it says subdivide, go ahead and click that up, and let's make this have 50 cuts. Okay, you can see that's added a ton of faces to that object, and every one of those faces can bend and fold like a piece of paper. Okay, so now we can go back into object mode with tab. We're going to come over to our modifiers, and under add modifier, we'll go to physics. We're going to add 2 modifiers here. The first one is cloth, and the second one is under physics as well, called collision, because when this fabric gets created, it's going to drop onto that cube, and we need to let it hit that cube. Okay, that also means we're going to need to give the cube some collision. So I'm going to select the cube, add physics, and give it collision as well. Okay, let's go back to our fabric. It's got cloth and collision on it, but it says cloth settings are inside the physics tab. This is your physics tab right here, this circle one. We're going to click on that. And these are our settings for managing our cloth. And here's the ones I recommend using. Let's change the quality to 10. Then let's come down to the bottom, and we're going to go to this tab called collisions, and we're going to turn this quality up to 10. And we're also going to turn on self collisions. And basically what this means is as the fabric falls and bumps into itself, it's going to bounce off of itself. It won't pass through it. Okay. Now that that's ready, I'm going to come down here to the bottom of my screen, and you guys have your timeline down there. I think for most of you, it'll be there already. If you don't see it, you can click right here and go to timeline. And this is our animation tab, all right? And as we make this fabric, we're going to start an animation and watch what happens. The fabric's going to drop, it's going to hit the cube, and voila, it turns into bendable fabric, okay? Now you're going to let this animation run for as long as you think it needs to look correct. That looks pretty good right there. It's kind of draping over that box. So I'm going to pause the animation, and I want to freeze it at that moment. Kind of one of the cool things about cloth is you can go back in time and reverse the effect. But once you find how it's hanging the way you want, you're just going to pause it right there, right click it, and convert to a mesh. And what that's going to do is freeze that cloth in that position forever. Okay, so it's now frozen in that pose. It's looking a little bit pixelated because of all those 50 cuts that we made on it. So to clear that up, let's come over to our modifiers. We're going to add the subdivision surface modifier. Okay, and see that smooths it out. If I turn it up one more level, it'll go even better. That's looking fantastic. And then finally, I'm going to right click and shade smooth. And just like that, we've got awesome realistic cloth that we can use in our scenes. You can have this cloth drape over pillows, bedspreads, couches, wherever you want to put it. It will hang like that and give you a really cool effect. Awesome.